I've got the current chart in front of me right now. And what I want to share with you, my ultimate reason for this is to look at the Chiron, which is the wound, the wounded healer. It's where we have hypersensitivity. So wherever Chiron is in our own chart, that's what we're evolving in this lifetime. But we do have transit, obviously, from birth. The Chiron takes between 49 to 51 years to move around a chart, and it can be very challenging for us. What we need to also do with our own chart is look at the aspects to our own, in our own natal chart, to understand what Chiron is doing for us. And it's also the gift that we give back to the world. So it's where we're hypersensitive. We stop being hypersensitive around that area, or we understand it more, and then we can also help people in that area as well to understand their own hypersensitivity in that area. And then we've got an opposition to the sun. So this is forming because, so if we look here, that Chiron is at 7 degrees of Aries, and we've got here that the sun is currently at 4 degrees of Libra. So when the sun hits a few degrees ahead, 3 degrees, it's going to be an exact, and I think that's the 29th of this month, so the 29th of September. I also, before I read a bit of this bit that I've got on Chiron, which is fascinating, I'm referring to a beautiful book, Chiron and the Healing Journey by Melanie Reinhardt. So I suggest you get that book. I'm going to put the link below in the video as well, and I'll talk about Chiron, but let's look at what else is going on before I go there. We've got October the 1st, we're going to have a new moon, a full moon. There's the sun currently, and the moon is currently in Aquarius. So on the 1st of October, the moon will be at 9 degrees of, when it gets to 9 degrees, actually it's going to hit Chiron by the looks of it as well. So it's not going to be an exact conjunction, but the moon will be a full moon, and it will be in opposition to the sun, which means that the moon here will make it a full moon, and that's going to be in Aries at 9 degrees. And it will actually also be conjunct Chiron, which is interesting. The other thing we've got as well is that Mercury will be moving into Scorpio tomorrow. So if we look at Mercury currently, it's 29 degrees. Look here, 29, 29, and it's going to literally move into Scorpio, and then it will go retrograde and it will go, when it reaches 11 degrees, it's going to go retrograde, and then it will go back into Libra, and then it will go forward again. That happens shortly as well, so in the next few weeks. And then we've got Saturn, which is going direct on the 29th of September. So Saturn, which has been retrograde for months, is going to go it's been retrograde for months, it's going to go direct. So that's brilliant as well. And then on the 4th of October, Pluto is going to go direct. So we're going to in for some changes. We've still got a T-square going on between Mercury and Mars, and to Jupiter or Saturn, and also, let's just have a look down here actually. I'm going to go, let's look at this and see where it's at currently. So we have Saturn is conjunct Pluto and Jupiter is conjunct Pluto, and we know that much, but we're going to see that the square going on here is, yes, Jupiter's included in that. So is Mars. If we go to Mars, square Pluto, square Saturn, so maybe not Jupiter. So the other thing, if we look at the node, the North Node, it's trine to Mercury, North Node is sextile to Venus, and the North Node is sextile to Mars. And the North Node is quincunx Saturn, and the North Node is square to Neptune. So there's something there about our future, you know, sort of being in the fog a bit at the moment. And it's also, the node is quincunx, which is an inconjunct to Pluto. So there's something going on that we can't quite see. The Lilith, I wanted to say, was conjunct Mars. That was the other interesting thing. So that's the rage. The Lilith is our sort of, Lilith would not lay below Adam in the garden in the mythology of the story. So Lilith is really, you know, wants to blow patriarchy away and say, no, I'm not doing that. So Lilith currently on Mars, is causing, you know, we've got some rage going on within us. I mean, I think today I saw there were huge marches in central London, Trafalgar Square, against wearing, you know, against another lockdown being imposed. But we're having to figure out how we're going to all handle the current situation all over the world, and then also elections coming up. Let's go now to, we're going to look at this, the sun in opposition to Chiron. So basically, Chiron is an asteroid, and it's between the planets Saturn and Uranus, and its orbit is, you know, it's a bridge when it orbits. It's a bridge between the worlds, the spiritual worlds. And Chiron in mythology was the healer and the wise teacher, and also an immortal, you know, immortal. But he was basically deadly wounded himself, or deadly injured, and he also had a poisonous arrow in his heel, and he's basically where he had a lot of suffering in his early life as well, So Chiron was sent to the underworld, and that because of this, you know, there was a lot of emotions that were very wounded as well. We've got Chiron in Aries, and because of this, it's where we've been traumatized, and it's the fact that we've, you know, that where efforts have not been successful, and it's where we feel like we can't be very proactive and assertive if we have Chiron in Aries, and Chiron is in Aries. It's about what we want to sort out, having healthy aggression, because also the ruler of Aries is Mars. And it may be that in order to survive, there was a lot of competition, or is a lot of competition, and it's where we can be harsh and ruthless. And it's where we compensate with exaggerated activity, and the results, you know, it's basically where we want results. So with the aspect to the sun, I'm going to read a little bit from the book, Chiron, the aspect to the sun. And the book again is Chiron, the Healing Journey. So I do suggest you get this book. So when Chiron aspects the sun, which it is here, and you can look in your chart to see if you have this aspect, or any aspect of Chiron to the sun, we may feel wounded in the solar masculine principle, and our experience of individuality and our vitality and purpose, our sense of being at the creative sense of the center of our own worlds falters, and we may seek to make someone else the center of our universe. We then promote their interests and help them to shine, basking in their reflected glory, living in Chiron aspect. And we've also got, we are able to foster the talents and self-expression of others, but may discount our own worth and then feel despair and envy. So there may be some of that going on at the moment. There may be some despair, and there may be some envy. Lacking the sense of an inner personal center, and it's where we are sensitive to archetypal energies for good or for ill. And also, let's see, I'm just looking down this page a little bit. Conversely, we may be charismatic and shine brightly. We succeed in becoming the center of attention, being loved and admired by many, but may be unable to recognize and enjoy it. So, you know, we may be loved by many, but we can't really enjoy it. So there's a feeling of being wounded, you know, the center of ourself. It's our deeper self. The Chiron Sun aspects prompts us to become aware of our deeper self at various layers of identity as they are peeled back. We are not given the luxury of basking in the glory of our own strong ego, but instead are forced to find our own deeper center. So this right now is where we're being forced to find a deeper center in ourselves. And a lot of us are on lockdown, and, you know, maybe a lot of us are working from home or worried about, you know, what's ahead of us. You know, our ego's been badly knocked because we can't go out and do all of the things we normally do and show off and shine if we wanted to do that. You know, it doesn't matter what we have right now. We're very much having to go inward and look at ourselves. So I would say that this is worth, you know, getting the book and understanding what's going on right now with the woundedness, and also the rage that we're feeling, and the Taurus Uranus is retrograde. The node is in Gemini, and we've also got Venus in Leo. and the sun in Libra, Mercury moving into Scorpio, Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn in Capricorn, and the moon is in Aquarius at the moment. So we might get some insights over the next day or so, light bulging insights, because the moon is our emotional world in Aquarius, and then we've got Neptune in Pisces. If you want a chart reading with me, do book and we can dig deeper. And also, if you've got a birthday coming up, we can look at your solar return the year ahead. And whilst it feels really difficult at the moment, you know, it's not all doom and gloom, and it's different for everybody. Everybody's going through different things. And even without COVID and pre-COVID, people would have been going through hardships. So, you know, it's a time where we can look at ourselves and look at the shadow in society and in humanity and the world. You know, there's a lot of behaviors that really don't solve problems and cause problems for each other. And it's a time to really dig deeper to look at how we can make this world a better place, and starting with self, and then we can reel that outwards, you know, or push it outwards or let it ripple outward to others. And a lot of that will be losing, you know, where we feel we project our pain onto other people. We all do this. We all might feel guilt and shame and the way we've been raised, you know, if we've not had love, and we project our stuff onto other people. And we also have people projecting their stuff onto us. And the more we understand our shadow individually, then we stop doing that. We stop acting out just based on our shadow, and we begin to get fair. So with the sun in Libra, really, this is about learning to balance and being fair for the next coming month, and also any aspects to that as well. Okay, I'll catch you later. Thanks for watching.